Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm going with Rex Burkhead of the Houston Texans. And the reason why I chose him is because, look, he had a monster game, 22 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. In full PPR, he came out with 33.9 fantasy points. Monster game. So you see that and you're like, ooh, I'm starting him next week. But look, you got to, they were playing I was going to say San Diego, but the Los Angeles Chargers, who have one of the worst run defenses in the entire league. On top of that, this week he's playing the San Francisco 49ers at in San Francisco, or in Santa Clara, I should say, who are, and Joe alluded to it earlier in the chat, who are fighting for their playoff lives. They have the 60. They basically, every game these last 2 weeks are a must win for the 49ers. And we've seen how tough they can play. And that it has to be the right game script for Rex Burkhead to even have these type of opportunities. I do think he's going to touch the ball 15 to 18 times, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of production out of that. So my fool's gold is Rex Burkhead this week.
I
Okay.
hear you, Jacob. Justin, what do you got?
I mean, I see it, I understand it, but it's sometimes you don't have many options. So I can't. I can make the argument going the logic you brought, but I can also see the volume that's potentially there that I wouldn't want to pass up. So it's hard to say. I wouldn't say it's an easy call, so I like it.
It's interesting too. As I stutter over my words, you look at a team like the Houston Texans who have a lot to prove. I mean, beating the Chargers, a team that was playoff bound and expected to come into Houston and just trample over the Houston Texans, they were stomped, and in the best way possible because they did the stomping. So now you head to San Francisco. Davis Mills has been playing great. That team has been looking great. I think it's going to be a competitive game, and because of that, I think Rex Burkhead does find a little bit of success. I don't think he's going to be a complete dud, and I think, like Justin mentioned, and like you mentioned, Jacob, off of volume alone, it'll be interesting to see what he can do with it, and hopefully he falls in the end zone. So I totally understand where you're coming from, Jacob, and I also understand where you're coming, Justin. So I guess we'll just kind of leave it at that. That is